So, 420 recording, 420 episode release date for this episode. I got to know if you got a Marvel blunt rotation, Joe. Who you got going in it?
Yes! What a question. Wow. Tony's definitely there.
Ideally.
Like, he's based off my main guy, Elon. Love him or hate him. That's just my guy. I would say Natalie. Natalie could be there for sure. Just
as Jane,
for good measure. No, Black Widow. Natasha, sorry.
Oh, Natasha. I was saying the same thing. I was like,
yeah, my bad.
Are you saying sorry. Natalie Portman or?
Sorry.
I gotta have Doctor Strange in the mix, bro.
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Also, you guys are missing out on two excellent characters.
Who?
Vision and Vashon.
Yes. Okay.
Or Vision and White Vision.
Vision ain't smoking though. Vision ain't smoking.
I don't know.
You don't know that?
You can't even eat, bro.
You don't know that.
You can't even if he's not smoking, you can't tell me that wouldn't make for some great conversation. If you were toasted and he goes, "Have you ever considered the ship of Theseus?"
Okay. I would love to have a conversation in that state of mind with Vision. That'd be fair. That's
Star-Lord, their crew, that whole crew.
Ooh, the Guardians. I don't know.
The Guardians.
I don't know if I feel like Gamora could be a little apprehensive.
Maybe I'd kick Gamora out. All of
Drax. Frankly, Drax and
Drax
Gamora
would make me.
Drax is a little funny, but he's too aggressive.
Maybe Mantis. Mantis is too literal. I don't. Yeah. You know what? I take that back. Just give me Star-Lord.
No, bro. I'd be kick Mantis for sure.
Star-Lord, Rocket. I think Rocket.
Oh, definitely Rocket.
And
Rocket. And Groot. And
Baby Groot. You're not telling me you're going to smoke up Baby Groot?
Have to.
Yeah, definitely Groot. Thor?
It probably takes hella weed to get Thor high.
Yeah, it has to take a lot.
I don't know, but which Thor are we talking about? Because, Thor 1 Thor, not a chance.
No, yeah, he's too big of a dude.
Thor Ragnarok Thor, yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm talking Ragnarok.
Yeah, or even Fat Thor, also yes.
Ultron. Give me Ultron.
Ultron?
Give me
I don't
Ultron.
know about that one, Joseph.
Yup, me and my boy.
All right, what are you going to say next? You also want Hayward in there with you as well?
Oh, dude, how are we missing the one, the only Jimmy Woo?
Jimmy
yeah.
Woo.
We all want to fuck with Woo.
What about Scott Lang? How are you guys feeling about Scott Lang?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll hook up with Ant-Man for sure.
Since he definitely smokes in, I feel like he definitely smokes in the movies as well.
I wanna get baked and have a discussion on radical politics with Eric Killmonger.
Ooh, I want Zemo. Zemo seems like a vibey guy.
Vibe. No, I just want to kick back at whatever castle he was up in.
Yes.
Look at all his fucking cars.
Yes.
That'd be a vibe.
Oh man, see now here's the hard question. What about the Scarlet Witch?
Oh, she a freak? I'd say yeah.
I just don't know. I'd say yes because she's hot, but I don't know if that. I don't know how she would be like that though. I feel like
because you're not like a robot.
If she has a bad high, everyone's at risk.
That's the issue. If she has any drop of paranoia, you're dead.
Oh, we forgot the most important. Stan Lee. Oh, dude, to get that man talking how he would be talking if he were high would be awesome. Just to hear that man's no filter. I think that would turn his filter off and he would just nerd out.
What about Cap?
Nah, he'd be snitching.
I feel like
there's no way Steve even wants to partake.
Not a chance, but original Captain America, the first Avenger, getting that
scrawny Steve?
No, not scrawny Steve. I'm talking about like at the end of that movie, Steve, where he getting him high would be so funny.
Yo, imagine you wake up 70 years after being iced and you get stoned and you're like, man, I guess it could be worse.
I feel like getting him high once would be really funny and then he'd hate you afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't know. Sam? Bucky?
Valkyrie.
For this show?
Man.
I don't know if Bucky wants to partake either. See, these guys from the 1940s, I just don't think they have any interest.
Yeah, no. Bucky, but maybe Bucky when he gets high turns into the Winter Soldier, possibly.
I think
that link in his brain, activates. So I don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Messing with that man's mind is kind of cumbersome.
I'd kick back with Sam Wilson though.
Yeah, I feel like he's cool. He, just Anthony Mackie, just him as a person. He smiles like he knows something. Dude. He smiles in every picture like he knows something more.
Have you guys seen all the things where like he's done interviews and he talks about what's Bucky's real name?
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan. He talks about Sebastian Stan's couch.
Yeah, and how nice.
And Sebastian Stan is like, "You've never seen my couch. What are you talking about?" Like, hey, yes, I have. I've slept on it before. Yeah. What are you talking about?
And then he took an IG live he posted on Sebastian Stan's Instagram story him laying on the couch, being like, "Wow, this is nice
it was like a whole saga for a while."
Yeah, like I'm posting this on Sebastian Stan's Instagram because he doesn't even know how to use Instagram.
Yeah,
and then Sebastian Stan
makes
came.
So much sense.
Yeah,
no, is Sebastian Stan just Bucky?
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, he probably just is.
Puts off that
or
vibe,
Luke Skywalker.
I don't know, dude. Luke, like, the only reason I don't think anyone else can ever play Luke, just because, like, you can't replicate Mark Hamill's performance in that.
But, like, you could try.
True. Wait, let's bridge this. Let's bridge this over to Star Wars. I want to hear blunt rotation Star Wars.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Grogu. Number one.
Straight up Ahsoka. Give me Ahsoka.
Yeah, I want to have a conversation.
Padme. Okay, obviously Padme. I'm not gonna say Padme.
Padme has all the everything like the same argument for Scarlet Witch without the insanity.
Yeah, definitely Mace Windu.
I don't know. I don't think Mace would be about that.
No, I think they would.
Are you kidding me?
I think he'd be about it.
I feel like he would not be. Yeah.
I think he'd be about it.
Who am I thinking?
Qui-Gon Jinn. Yes.
Oh, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes. Qui-Gon would definitely.
Throw me a Yoda. Little bit of, you know what? Throw me a little Count Dooku.
Oh, yes.
More importantly, the true Sith Lord, Jar
Binks, of course.
Jar Jar Binks, of course.
Can't forget about him. I mean, obviously.
That's a lie. I don't think I would want to get high with Jar Jar Binks. I think that would be a terrible experience. He'd be you can't tell me that he would not be the most annoying person on Earth high.
Lucy don't think this is, well, do Lucy think this is fun?
Like, it would be funny. It'd be funny for the first 10 minutes.
It's a bomb bad. It's a bomb bad.
Yeah, that'd be funny for the first 10 minutes, and I feel like afterwards you'd be like, all right, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Huh. Trying to think. I mean, Lando? Han?
Oh, yeah. Han,
yeah. Lando and Han.
Ooh. Hondo Onaka.
Who's that?
From the Clone Wars and Rebels series. He's the
pirate.
Is
he the pirate? Yes, him.
I need Hondo Onaka in my life.
What's the fucking what's the guy that did the did the repairs or whatever to get the Sith language out of C-3PO?
Oh, Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
I mean, I think Luke would be about it.
Luke? I'd kick back with Luke. I want to talk to Luke.
Leia.
Of course, Leia. Again, want to talk some radical politics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe Vader. Probably just be a depressing night.
Not Anakin.
It would have to
Anakin,
be Vader
yes.
Post Vader and back to Anakin. That brief moment before he died, you just have to get him. You just have to get him a little stoned.
Yeah.
I mean, original Anakin wouldn't be bad.
Maybe an Ewok, a couple of Ewoks.
Ooh, fucking wicked.
Maybe a Sarlacc.
What about some Wookiees?
Ooh.
Kicking back with Chewie would be a vibe.
Kicking back with Chewie.
Rey.
Chilling with Chewie.
I was thinking about Rey and Ben. I feel like Ben would not be about it at all.
Nah.
good old Ben Swolo. I don't know about Ray though.
I'd smoke up with Finn and Poe.
Oh,
Finn and Poe would be about it.
That's definitely, yeah.
For sure. Is there anyone else in that sequel trilogy that's a Maz Kanata maybe? Maybe she can finally tell us
which one's Maz Kanata?
Lightsaber.
Maz is the orange grandma girl.
Yeah. Yep.
Orange cookie head.
Yeah, the old lady.
Looks like SpongeBob's mom.
Maybe then she'd tell us where she got Luke's lightsaber.
Yes, that's. I can't believe they didn't answer that.
Shit, she really does look like SpongeBob's mom.
Yeah, I know.
She does.
You're welcome.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I don't.
What other? Oh, what about good old Din?
Yeah, I was thinking of Mandalorian with it.
Yeah, I just don't know that. I just don't know that he'd be about it.
Oh, what's his name? Oh no,
Grief
leader of
Karga?
the Hunters Guild, the Bounty Hunters Guild, the leader,
Grief Karga.
Grief Karga. Oh, definitely.
More importantly, what's that? The old dude from the other planet.
Oh,
what was
Queel? I have spoken.
Queel. What was it that he said?
I have spoken.
Was it just I have spoken? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was anything else. Yeah, him.
God,
I have spoken. Bill Burr. He's in the universe, so might as well.
Bill Burr. Not even Bill Burr's character, just Bill Burr.
Yeah, no, just Bill Burr. Yeah.
Which they're one and the same, so.
Yeah.
Fennec and Boba chilling in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get high with Jabba.
Jabba.
he's high 24/7, bro.
Exactly.
He was on that hookah or whatever the heck that was. Who knows what Jabba's been on?
Jabba's off the haze.
That's all he does. He just sits on that platform, eats, and what? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't even move. He doesn't even move. That's
why it would be so great.
The platform is just moving. Like, he is moved. He doesn't do anything.
King.
That is some king shit.
King shit.
You think Boba's not going to move anymore?
Nah, Boba's definitely doing his business. Tillman's almost here. So y'all ready to get into this episode?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Happy 420.
Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed and now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Penny Bloom Podcast. It is I, Colton Robertson, and you have returned for the Falcon and Winter Soldier weekly episode breakdowns. This is episode 5, titled Truth. I am joined by my guys, Tillman McClooney. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? Straight out of my best friend's closet. We out here.
Hey, we out here. I'm right next to my closet. It's it's right there. Right, you see that dark space right there? Closet, kind of menacing in the camera. I ain't gonna lie, that's a little freaky. But also, Joseph George, what's up, homie?
What up? What up? Glad to be back, boys.
I'm glad that you are back, and I am also joined by Miles, motherfucking Buttress. What's up, homie?
Not much. Happy to be back. Ready to get this episode. Talk about it.
This is a fucking great episode.
This episode's banger.
By far my favorite, and it seems to be a lot of people's favorites. I felt like more than anything, this let Sam Wilson grow into the character he's like supposed to be. I felt like he got his shine, his due and proper. I liked that a lot. Till, how'd you feel about it?
Honestly, I felt this episode was ass. There was no character development. The reaction was, just kidding. This episode, was the exact opposite. I felt like, the character development in this story between multiple characters was big. I think this was sort of like the climax of the show. And then, it's coming like episode 5, but the climax is where things turn and where all the things that have been built up are finally going into play. I just see a lot of character development between Sam, between Zemo, between Bucky, and then people trying to find peace and trying to, also, we thought, for a second, the government said they're taking jurisdiction, but we all know that the government can't do jack squat without the Avengers. Like, come on. So I'm excited for this last episode. I hate to see it go so soon. Like, can't be doing
it's already at the finale. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Give it the same respect as WandaVision, a lower tier show at Miles.
Secret second season coming, boys.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling it now.
I was hesitant. I was hesitant coming into this series that I thought it would, match WandaVision for my satisfaction. But honestly, it feels really good to get back to like straight down the middle fucking Marvel instead of the wacky shit WandaVision did. And I mean, don't get me wrong, absolutely loved the wacky shit WandaVision did. But this is peak Marvel. Like, this is perfect. I feel like these television shows have proved that like this is how you should tell stories, Yeah.
This is a movie broken down into episodes.
Exactly.
And I
really,
like
it's 2 movies.
2 movies? Yeah, basically. I like how we continue also, we're doing pretty good with our predictions and whatnot, so I just wanted to say that, I really was like, last week I was like, John's finna be like, fuck you, get out of my way, I'm doing this and I am this, and just see a whole bunch of arrogance and just frustration, and that man's psycho.
Well, that's what I like too, is that it's like it's really on the nose a little bit, like I remember while I was watching this, there was nothing more purely not just symbolic, but like couldn't be more better represented on TV than a angry, arrogant, and having lost his mind white man standing above a black man yelling, "I am Captain America," getting ready to kill him. Like that's right. Like, that couldn't be more clear metaphor.
Especially with the verdict that we just heard with this whole case.
Exactly.
Thing. That was the connection there was just monument. I am Captain. Like, so was this what America represents? Just the image. Like, oh man.
White man done lost his mind.
Tragic.
John Walker loves that saying, though.
He loves "I am Captain America." And I like, was it you that sent that meme into the group chat where it was like, or not a meme, but like kind of pointing out that, that every time Steve Rogers introduced himself, he introduced himself as Steve Rogers. And every time John Walker introduces himself, he is Captain America, John Walker, or John Walker, "I am Captain America."
I am Groot.
Freaking scum.
Steve Rogers.
I am Steve Rogers.
Or a kid from Queens, or just a kid from Queens. He even referred to himself as that.
Kid from Queens.
But Miles, how did you feel about the episode?
Loved it. Got one step, just one step closer on all of my predictions. Tillman, I'm right, you're wrong. Sharon is the power broker.
No!
All you want.
No!
You are wrong.
You're wrong.
Can we
wrong. You are wrong.
Even regardless of what happens with that, I do think it did come full circle with Zemo. I don't think we see anything else with him. But I'm
not in this series.
Yeah, not
redemption arc.
I think we did get the redemption arc, kind of, because he willingly went with.
There's more due. I think there's more due.
What's the raft, bro?
I think this is perfectly setting up the Thunderbolts. I don't know if you have seen anything about that online, but it's a group that, Zemo is often a part of. It's kind of a underground hero type thing. And with the introduction of Val, the chick who came to John Walker after his, condemnation, it's like condemnation. I don't know. But she could be putting together that sort of team, or Zemo could be getting, I don't know, him getting put in the raft too helps a lot, because that's the basis of a lot of Thunderbolt storylines too.
So this Val girl is kind of like the Nick Fury of their little smaller group.
It's like, kind of.
I just looked it up because I was interested in it, and it says it's a team consisting mostly of reformed supervillains.
Exactly.
And you know what? And I think him having that heart to heart with Bucky, and I think that conversation he really did realize that I fucking hate super soldiers, but I was wrong about this one. And he willingly went with the
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje. I forgot what they were called, and he willingly went to prison. And you know what? That's good enough for me to count as a redemption arc.
What is the raft, though? What is
that's
the
thing that all the superheroes were put on after Civil War?
The giant prison in the middle of the ocean that came out of the water.
The oil drill thing, but it was underwater. Remember?
And it had I think Ant-Man, Hawkeye. Was Sam Wilson locked up in there too?
Yes. Remember they were all locked up in there.
Oh yeah.
And Tony goes and he's like.
And
he's having a heart to heart with. Wasn't he talking to Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking to Sam. He was there's a tech error, and so the sound goes out, and he's like, listen, I didn't know this was gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
And then everything goes down, and they somehow mysteriously are freed.
Can I just tell Miles just stop it with this redemption arc with Zemo? We got nothing like that whatsoever. Nothing.
All right, let's go through it, Tillman. He started hating all superheroes and all super soldiers. He started in prison for whatever random government. He started having the last thing he had done being tearing the Avengers apart. He ended willingly in prison, having had a heart to heart with Bucky, who he used to try and tear apart the Avengers.
There's credence to the idea that Zemo could have ran away. He had that opportunity.
He did run away.
No, he ran away, but he went to a spot that he knew Bucky would find him at because he's sitting there.
Bucky,
he says, "I'm surprised it took you so long."
Yeah, but
he was there waiting for him.
Yes, honestly, I'm sorry. I take it back. I feel like we did get some type of redemption arc because of the fact that, yes, he ended with doing something bad, and then he helped them off in this mission that they were on. But I'm sorry, he wasn't running from the Dora Milaje. He didn't, it's just he craps. The man was going to jail. He was waiting for it.
He saw.
He could have.
He saw how powerful they were.
Bucky would shoot him.
I'm not going to run. He witnessed the true power of the Dora Milaje and was like, you know what? I won't run.
Well, he was like, Bucky, please just shoot me. Just do it.
But he could have drawn it out for longer, and he realized that the best option for him, one, he helped them out and then willingly went back to prison. And also, as Colton said, this does give them a good opportunity to go towards a Thunderbolts thing because he is now a reformed supervillain.
And I'm really just hurt because there goes my theory. There goes my theory out the window that he was going to help them take out all the super soldiers and he was going to try to take out Bucky in the end. Yep. Now I'm hurt.
And that was fair. It's a not trusting nature, but I dig it. It was a possible storyline for sure. But, it played out the way it played out. And honestly, I loved it. I like the way Zemo's story concluded here. Definitely don't think we see him next episode. But maybe like a post-credit scene where he also meets up with Val or something, or he meets up with some supervillain in the raft. I think we're bound to get one more.
Ultron.
I don't think Ultron would count as a reformed supervillain.
You don't know that. We program.
He's just chilling in a cell at the raft. Ultron.
It'd be funny.
Thanos.
Don't get me wrong.
Never mind. Thanos doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, Thanos doesn't exist anymore.
Somehow they're just like, fuck it, retcon.
Speaking of post-credit scenes.
What's that?
So speaking of post-credit scenes, that man, John...
Making his own shield.
He in there flipping the...
what?
What is this guy doing? Making an aluminum shield?
I turned to my roommate whenever we watched that scene, and I was like, I don't know if he realizes this, but the whole reason that shield was cool was because it was made out of vibranium. Your fucking aluminum shield. I'm sorry, John. It's not gonna do shit.
I'm not gonna do jack squats.
I mean, he really was fucking smithing in there though. Like that wasn't aluminum. That was some sort of metal.
It's steel. But even if it is steel or something like that, that shit's gonna be so heavy.
It might do more damage than the vibranium shield.
That's the thing. Maybe John Walker's move is not throwing the shield; it's doing what he did.
Maybe it is throwing the shield. He is a super soldier now.
True.
Man,
I mean, if he could fucking yeet that shield, or if Sam can yeet the vibranium shield as vibranium, maybe he can just throw a fastball with a steel shield, and no one would know any better.
But I'm excited to see him pop out with this. I want to see how the shield looks. I want to see how his paper mask and his Halloween costume look.
I think I don't know what to expect from John Walker in the future, especially after. I mean, next episode he's definitely going after Carly. Like that's definitely in the immediate future. But beyond that, because he got that visit from Val, I'm confident that his story will continue in the future. His story is going to conclude next episode with him going after Carly. You know, his mission's not fulfilled until he gets the person who actually killed Lamar. You know, and I'm hoping that he's finally realizing that his delusion he's created is not truth.
My prediction right now is the shield he creates for himself will be what kills him in the end.
I don't think he's dying.
I think Carly will kill John in the same way that he killed.
I think because of that visit. I think because of that visit from Val,
he's not dying.
Definitely getting more John.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say what I think might, because of that visit from John, and you talking about the Thunderbolt and how was she a part of that?
She could be, but I don't know
if
Zemo would be on the same team as John Walker. You know, I feel like I feel like we might be getting some rivalry type shit there.
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think we could potentially see him either being like turning bad and Val being, you know, like starting a new, like, you know, supervillain team of bad guys, or the other way, him being like a good guy in the shadows that obviously, you know, the government can't endorse because he was, you know, Captain America for a week and murdered someone. But he could potentially, to try and like regain whatever, like, you know, goodness he has left, try and be like an in the background, in the shadows, try and do whatever good he can to make up for the fact that he, you know, straight murdered someone.
Like maybe he becomes Batman, but the no kill rule came from him killing and seeing what it did. Well, so then he's like, I'm not going to kill anymore.
What's actually interesting is that I went to Vintage Stock today to look through some comic books, and there was a U.S. agent comic, John Walker, and the cover said, "I am justice," a very famous Batman quote. You know, like
I'm just that big brain. Yeah, I knew that without even knowing it. I knew he's just Batman.
Well, and that's the thing, is that I don't think he's going to have the good intentions that Batman does, and I don't know if he's going to have as clear a moral compass, but I do think that he is going to inflict justice anywhere that he sees fit. It's not going to be. It's not going to be anyone telling him what justice.
To do.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be the best justice by any means, but
wow.
But yeah, that visit from Val really gives credence to that idea, you know?
Is there like a meme behind her business card, or is it just basically to say like, you don't call me, I call you?
I think that was mostly it.
Yeah. Knowing nothing about it, I would agree. I think that's probably it.
Like, I will contact you.
Yeah.
Because like she also said like,
she also said pick up the phone when I call.
Yeah, that's the first best decision of your life.
Yeah. After marrying this young thing over here.
Interesting about the legal gray area of the shield. Basically saying Sam's going to keep that and the government's not going to take it from him.
Well, I actually think we're headed in a direction. Oh, and also, by the way, I wanted to say fucking cool that the cameo was Julia Louis-Dreyfus of, you know, great comedian, just a Seinfeld Veep, just been in countless great shit. So fucking awesome having her join the MCU, and I look forward to seeing her in Black Widow, which is where she was supposed to, you know, make her debut. But COVID delayed.
She's not playing the same character, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, she is? Okay, I was really confused because I thought I saw somewhere that she was like playing two different characters, and I was like, this seems a little weird.
Yeah, I doubt that's the case. I doubt that's the case.
Huh. I didn't know that she was in Black Widow's movie at all.
I did. I saw something about that, but the whole like also being in that and then also being Miss Hydra, I was like, that seems weird.
Yeah,
a little.
I'm hoping that she is Madam Hydra, and I would really like that I like a looming threat throughout everything. And Tillman, how would you feel about Hydra rejoining the fold?
Well, like when it came to Hydra, they always just popped in unexpectedly, especially in Captain America, Winter Soldier, when we were like, oh my gosh, Hydra actually runs S.H.I.E.L.D., basically, and so seeing them pop back in, I mean, it'd be kind of like deja vu. Like, I mean, people could get the idea of like, oh my gosh, Hydra's back again. Of course, they're involved, kind of like Joseph, and he's like, oh my gosh, Ultron is involved in everything. Like,
but the whole thing about Hydra is like you cut one head off to grow back.
True.
Like it is the whole, meme behind Hydra. Like obviously you don't kill a Hydra person and then two are born.
Yeah. So I mean, but like, I don't.
Maybe it does work that way.
Yeah, I don't see any type of like undercover hidden Hydra anywhere. I feel like if we see Hydra come out, then it's like
they are Hydra now.
Yeah, if we see them come out, it's like, oh yeah, they've been doing this. It wasn't like, oh, they were secretly running this or secretly behind this. It's like this is what they've had in motion and that they're doing. Like,
well, it would make sense that a group like Hydra would have found a chance to kind of regroup in a time during like the blip.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
so you never know.
Maybe Hydra brings Ultron back.
Maybe.
Never thought about that one?
I don't think so.
That would be the ultimate Marvel comic movie idea. Hydra brings Ultron back. That's just like such a classic Marvel like comic book thing.
Kevin, Feige, you want to do that? Just give me $1 million and I'll let you do it.
Give me $1 million.
I'm going to let Kevin Feige do his thing. He really be popping off with these Marvel movies.
That's true. You know what? Just do what you do. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Did y'all see the news regarding Secret Invasion today? Emilia Clarke joining the cast.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Daenerys Targaryen and Kira from Solo.
Let's go. Let's go.
Did you guys see the trailer for
Shang-Chi? Yeah.
What's it? Shang-Chi. I wanted to say Shangri-La because of the map from Call of Duty Zombies, and I knew that was wrong.
Yep,
okay, but isn't it like the 10 Rings? Like, wasn't the 10 Rings like in Iron Man 3, like the terrorist organization or whatever?
No, that was a different thing.
I thought it was called the 10 Rings.
That was the Mandarin.
The 12 Rings.
That was called the Mandarin.
No, it was the guy. It was called like the 10 Rings, I swear. That's why I was so confused whenever I saw the 10 Rings. I'm like, wasn't that a terrorist organization?
No shit.
Yeah, they are
the 10 Rings. The 10 Rings it's a terrorist organization dedicated to destroying the world peace by any means necessary, and it was led by a mysterious warlord known as the Mandarin. Because the symbol, whenever like the broadcast would come on TV, was 2 swords surrounded by 10 rings.
Now, I would imagine the 10 Rings they're referring to in this new show is not the same thing, because they're referring to it as the legend of the 10 Rings.
No, but I think it might be related because I think isn't the Mandarin supposed to be like an eventual bad guy for Shang-Chi?
What even is Shang-Chi?
I have no idea.
Like, what time is it being placed in? Like, these are all new people.
It's modern
correct?
day Marvel. Yeah, it's just It's just right. It's just thrown right into San Francisco. San Francisco doesn't have a lot of action going on.
So how is the Mandarin going to come back? Like what?
I don't think that was the real.
I think it's a new thing.
Yeah, I don't think that was the real Mandarin. I think they were using like an established name. And I think they're just kind of retconning and just being like, yeah, that was a fake Mandarin. Haha, jokes.
Remember, he was an actor.
Well, it was a fake Mandarin. Remember, he was an actor.
He was an actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He didn't do any of that.
So you're saying the sorcerers have been behind it this whole time? Like, were they behind the acting?
So his father, like Shang-Chi's father, Wenwu, known as the Mandarin.
Whoa.
Ooh. Well, there's also, I've seen theories about online that this show is going to bring dragons into the MCU.
What?
This movie is going to bring dragons into the MCU, which is going to be pretty fucking epic.
Damn. Now that's cool. I can get behind that.
I would love that. And with the introduction of Emilia Clarke, maybe the
the mother of freaking dragons, bro.
The reprisal of Daenerys Targaryen in the MCU. She comes back to life via some Scarlet Witch magic or some shit.
I do have a question.
She was watching Game of Thrones. She got excited.
I do have a question though.
What's your question?
What's that, Tim?
So what do we think that Sam is? What emotions or feelings do you think he's going through? After he's had to talk with Bucky and after he went to talk to Isaiah, what do you think's going on?
I think the talk to Isaiah solidified that he's becoming Cap. He said, I'm going to show you that a black man can indeed be Captain America, but at the same time he's like, maybe I shouldn't because of, the bad history. Like it's kind of like torn in between two, but like if he does it and then maybe he's like I don't know.
Kevin Feige and Marvel are really hitting these these
real world problems.
Yeah, real world problems, social justice problems. Isaiah, it really like hit me when he was like, they would never let a black man be Captain America, and especially when he was also like, a black man would never pick up that shield. But here we are seeing Sam pick up that shield, and I'm like, what is?
Well, when he's talking to his sister, he explains, he's like, I got to show them that like who am I if I don't stand up and fight that? Who am I if I don't at least try? And I love that about Sam.
He's doing it for Steve and he's doing it for Isaiah now. Like he's doing it for both of them.
I was really happy that his sister was like, since when have you let an old man tell you what to do?
Yeah.
Like sack the fuck up, Sam. Come on.
So, do you think Isaiah when Isaiah said a black man would never pick up that shield? Like, is he telling him like you shouldn't pick it up too? Or,
yeah.
Like,
any self-respecting black man should not pick up the shield.
So is this like going
what he said, right?
Sam? Like, so but I guess depending on which side you're on, you could be like, oh, Sam, you're wrong for picking up the shield, or you could be like, okay, Sam, prove them wrong. I was just like, which? I mean, of course, I'm on the side of like Sam, prove them wrong, but I'm like, this man Isaiah's over here like, don't pick up the shield, like.
And don't get me wrong, it's like if one does feel like that, as Isaiah does, it makes sense. I'm not gonna knock him for it,
I guess, Isaiah's his point of view is things are the same and they're never going to change. But Sam is not going to take that as an answer. He's going to do everything he can to try to change what's going on. He's not going to.
And I've liked that every time
and
someone has presented
they included this part. I think they included this part because that's something that like real like older people, like some older people really think is like it. Like why even try to fight anymore at this point? Just like the whole like no self-respecting black man would ever pick up that shield. That's some like that exists to some people in real life, and I think they included this part to show like no, like there are some fights that it's worth it.
Yeah, like the system is set up against you. I'm sure some people were like, "Why would a black man even run for president? Why would you even try? Why would you go up there and do that?" I mean, then but that's a fight, or a place where you feel like we need to prove them wrong that we can do this or. Can't succeed past their expectations.
I think the conversation between Bucky and Sam at the end kind of solidified Sam like filling that Cap role. Like he's kind of like the rock of the team. Like Cap had his kind of group of people after the blip to like and be like, hey, stay happy, blah blah blah. Like I think Sam is like kind of the same thing, like that Steve's doing. It's just like the similarities between Sam and Cap, and like you're seeing like him form into Cap, which is just it's pretty. This episode is the formation of the new Captain America.
His character development is just insane, but Bucky's not fooling anybody. He's just trying to hit on Sam's sister, trying to clap some cheeks. He ain't fooling me. He's not fooling me.
Sarah, man, she needs to get some more respect. She could get it. Sarah could get it.
She want the white wolf.
Dude, she do want the white wolf.
Yo, the way Bucky looked at her though, he looked up, he said, "Hey, Bucky."
Yeah.
Bucky
man.
And then Sam had the immediate response, which was very predictable, because he's like, "Hey, don't hit on my sister."
Bucky realized something after going to Wakanda. He realized something.
chocolate, sweet chocolate.
Once you go, you never go back.
Never go back. Bucky knows.
Damn. Oh.
But
Are you gonna keep that in?
Excited. We saw, the determination.
With Tillman's cosign, I'll keep it in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Colton, who do you think Tillman is that he wouldn't co-sign on that?
I know.
What do you mean? That's why I didn't say. I kept it PG. I said he trying to hit, clap them cheeks. Wow. But what I'm going to talk about too is just the determination to drive in Sam, and I just want to point out this key thing that I hope somebody noticed. Sam was over here throwing the shield. He's doing backflips, doing some gymnastics and whatnot, trying to get his super soldier, non-super soldier thing going on, trying to do all this crazy stuff. But when he was running around, did anybody notice what the camera did?
Did it go on his left?
It left space on his left. I don't know if that was intentional.
It was certainly intentional.
But Captain America always passing it up. Steve Rogers saying on your left, and it panned over and it put him on the right, and it left space on Sam's left. And
Dude, the montage of him working out and then completing that backflip, double quick twist, freaking epic land, like that montage was dope as fuck.
I want to know, how long were they waiting for the next move by the government or by Carly that he got an entire training montage in?
Man,
like he was training you. Like it
that
looked
was at
like
least a month or something.
That was at least a month,
and that was after he fixed the boat.
Yeah.
Like that whole montage after like the trial and everything, that was like a 2 to 3 month period. And you can't convince me otherwise.
I agree. I think Carly laid low for a while before.
Yeah, but I feel like they're not going to play it like she laid low for a while. I feel like they're just going to be like, oh, it's only been a couple days since the trial, since everything went down.
I think it was a couple of weeks. In my opinion, I just think it maybe was.
I mean, we got to give Sam more credit. He was already a pretty fit guy.
Well, he started throwing it kind of.
He just kind of sharpened his skills. It doesn't.
Yeah, but that was still at least a month-long training montage.
He Dude, he wasn't,
and it took him at least a month to fix that boat.
Yeah, he didn't catch it well. It was like he threw it okay, but not like he did.
He went from being able to throw it okay and not really catch it to being able to throw it, bounce it off some shit, and then do a backflip spin and catch it.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's fair.
And he can do anything in between.
Yeah, because when being Captain America, there's a lot of physical mobility, and Sam has always had his wings that have been his mobility that allow him when he's going backwards to thrust himself forwards. If he's going forward, he needs to get a quick escape backwards, or if he needs to spin, if he needs to twirl, he just uses his wings in the air. Now he has to rely on his physical body. I mean, he'll have.
Or does he?
He's going
to get wings.
Or does he?
Wings. Because
we're going to see a flying Captain America.
Because what's inside.
I mean, imagine.
Yeah. Because
imagine him just flying and then ricocheting it off the ground back up to him, like he's just like bank, 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 just dropping it on his head.
That man's gonna throw it across a mountain, dog, and he can just go fly to the other side and pick it up. But inside that briefcase is his new uniform and his new wings.
That's a small box for wings, though. They have to I guess they're able to.
I'm thinking we might be looking at the technology that kind of Black Panther's mask was kind of working with.
You mean it wasn't just his mask; it was his whole suit.
Yeah, his whole suit.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's dope.
That'd be really cool.
If we had some Iron Man vibranium
does he get a pair of sneakers? Does he get a pair of sneakers?
No, he gets boots.
He gets some J's. What?
Not sneakers?
Oh,
the sneakers that make no sound or whatever.
Yeah, the sneakers. I forgot.
Does it come default in every suit now?
Probably.
I called him sneakers. Yes. Oh man, I called him sneakers.
All right. So I have a question. Moving on from this, specifically for Tillman and all of you, but why do you hate Sharon Carter?
I don't hate Sharon Carter.
Why do you hate her, Tillman?
He's not the power broker. Because I like guessing, and I don't pay attention to obvious. I pay attention to obvious things, but if it's trying to be blatantly obvious that this is what it is, I'm like, okay, then that's not what it is. So I have to go and look at every other thing. I think Sharon's bad. I'd let Sharon be the mother of my children. I mean, she did bang a 80-year-old, but
I wasn't sure which version of bad you were going for. Bad like attractive or bad as in a bad guy. But she's both.
I think
in
she's
reality.
a bad guy. I
Yeah.
think she's a
I
bad
think
guy.
she's a
for
bad
sure.
guy.
I don't think she's a bad guy because I wouldn't. Okay,
Bro,
well,
she literally hired a guy to kill Falcon in this episode.
but I mean, it depends on which side you're on, as Carly would say.
What?
How you not on
side
Sam's
should you be
side?
on?
Okay, but maybe she's a bad guy. Okay, yeah, maybe she's a bad guy. But I feel like sometimes I feel like she's just doing what she has to do. Like
She's just a bad girl.
in a situation.
Fuck off, Joseph.
In the situation that she was put in, I think that this is her way of what she's had to do to survive. I mean, also, yes, maybe it hasn't turned her into a bad person, but I feel like there's still room for her as well, redemption. That's why
there is no redemption arc for her in this series at least.
People have done worse. Okay, in this series maybe not, but people have done worse. But honestly, that's why I stay on the side that she's working with the power broker and not she is the power broker.
No, she is. She either is the power broker or she is the power broker's right-hand person.
And that's fine because my theory was she's working with the power broker, and I am the only one out of the four here who chose to stay on this side, and I am.
You are really not. I have not once said that Sharon is the power broker.
Episode 2, you thought she was a power broker.
No,
I
he said she
could
might be. Yeah.
And I was never on the might side.
Tillman, the only reason you weren't on the might side was not because the clues led you to believe it was someone else, but was solely because you told me the clues are leading me to believe that she is, and I don't want you to be right, so I'm going to say she's not. So if she's not, I can be right.
It's fair logic, though, the fact that they would be throwing the clues in our face. I really got to think that...
No, but this was before the clues were thrown in our face. This was whenever it was like, oh, she might actually be bad. Those were the clues, and he was like, nah, she's not the power broker, because if you're wrong, I want to be right.
And I also was like, it's too obvious, but that was one of my main reasons, low key. I will not deny that. I will say, you guys are also, because low key they were showing all these signs, and I was like, maybe, just maybe, she's walking past these guards with all these AKs, and I'm like, you know what? It's possibly true, but I can't be on the wrong. I can't be on the side of in case I'm right, I have to go on this side.
There is the possibility that Val is actually the power broker because she is Agent 14 and Sharon is Agent 13. There is a possibility that they've kind of formed an alliance and are working very, well together potentially,
So
or working against each other. You never fucking know.
I read something somewhere. Was Sharon the one who gave information about Sam's sister and his nephews to Carly, or was that Carly finding that out on her own?
I don't think it's been revealed.
Okay,
I think Carly found that out on her own
because Carly said, "We'll come to your house with the grill and the gnome in your backyard on the left side of the patio with the grilled half-eaten grilled cheese on the step, and the boat." And I was like, "Oh, Carly."
Oh, you really about that?
About that. She said the half-eaten grilled cheese on the step.
She seen it.
Google
Maps. It's always watching.
Always watching.
But I want to talk about that fight sequence at the beginning. That was a stellar way to kick off the episode. And after being exhilarating for a couple of moments, it eventually just got plain sad to me. I don't dude, John, like him, that shit where he stood over Sam and was like, I am Captain America, ripped off his wings and then almost, tried to kill him with the shield. I was like, this just fucking sucks. Like this guy, it's gone. He's gone. Like that's
gone. Yeah. And he's dangerous.
I really love that it heavily paralleled Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
In having where in Civil War, Cap and Bucky were beating the shit out of Iron Man. Then Iron Man turned it around on him. Then they turned it back around on him. Only in that case, Iron Man was the one that you were like, no, I want him to win.
No,
he saw his parents die.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying there was a reason to be like, no, Iron Man's not the one in the wrong here. At a minimum, Iron Man wasn't the one in the wrong because he did just watch his parents get killed by Bucky.
You're right, but boohoo. But okay.
You're right, but boohoo.
It's just your parents. Who cares?
Bro, Bucky been mind controlled.
But still, the guy's right there that killed your parents.
Yeah, you watch the guy's right there that killed your parents, whether or not he was mind controlled.
Yeah,
but in this case, it's Captain America in the middle, getting the shit beat out of him by Bucky and Sam, who should be Captain America. He then turns it around on them, and then he then turns it back around. Instead of like in the Iron Man fight, Iron Man got his suit fucked up. In this case, Sam got his suit fucked up, and in the end, it was John that got just bullied.
Dude, that final finisher move, the freaking fly to the shield bump. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Dude.
Want to talk about a slight parallel? How about them breaking John Walker's arm as Bucky got his arm straight up ripped off in that fight in Civil War?
Yeah, and not only that, but then also like you talk about like I thought like the last episode ending on like whenever he was like smashing the dude's head, and I was like, damn, they really took the gruesomeness to 100. Was not expecting them to open up on a fight scene where a dude gets his arm fucking snapped.
Yeah. Well, and
then Bucky spits out a gallon of blood in his mouth. Dude, his back has to be fucked.
Oh yeah. No, if he wasn't a super soldier, he's crippled for life.
Dude, that's a full vibranium impact, like
into your spine.
Yo, but I also want to say how fucking cool it is that we got a fucking WWE tag team ass move in the middle of this to end this fight.
It was pretty dope.
The way Bucky and Sam were on the same page, and Bucky was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna swing this guy. You're gonna hit him with the shield."
And it hurt all of them. I mean, obviously John hurt the most, but like it still hurt.
All of them fell down and were like, "Fuck,
that fucking man."
Yeah, we see how dangerous. I'm telling you, this man John. Don't sleep on him. This man is dangerous because that was a 2v1, and as me and Miles said, we were like. We feel like there's going to be a moment where
it was kind of like a 1v1.5 because like John Walker and Bucky are super soldiers, so like I guess Sam has wings, but not really halfway through.
He held his own though.
Okay. Yeah, I was surprised on how well he held up.
I mean, he's an Avenger. What can you expect? But I mean, also, I was just saying, me and Miles called it. We were like, there's going to be a moment where John is actually going to have the upper hand. In the series, he's going to kick one of their butts, because he's been on the down end of it. So getting his butt kicked in that 1.5v1 or that 2v1, that man held his own for a little bit. He was not letting go of that shield and he was holding his own ground. I was like, okay, John. And I couldn't help but just admire because I like chaos. I'm not going to lie, Chaos is exciting when I'm not involved, when I'm watching.
I'm not involved.
I like watching high school fights in high school, I'm not involved, but somebody else is getting their butt kicked. But anyway, watching John, just cause chaos and actually, hold his own, even though
it does make for extraordinarily exciting TV. I can't help, I fucking despise John Walker, but I can't help but love Wyatt Russell's performance of John Walker because every scene is fucking memorable. This dude is always he plays weirdly demented well,
That's
it's not even weirdly demented. It's just they're trying to portray him as a relatively normal white guy. That's the problem that they're trying, he's just a relatively normal white guy who got too much power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've said it from the very beginning. I don't hate him as an actor, but he is great at making me hate him as a character. Yeah. He's so good at it.
Yeah. And it like Battlestar said, rest in peace. It just the serum just made him more of himself. An arrogant white man.
Exactly. And I loved that montage at the beginning where he was running away and he's remembering all this chat he had with Lamar, and he's like, why didn't I fucking listen to you? You told me not to do, and then he hears Lamar say time to go to work in his head, and then he's like, all right, time to go to work. What was his plan? What did he think was happening here?
He's going to kill both of them in his head. He's like, I got to kill these
I don't think he expected to see Sam and Bucky immediately. I think he was immediately going to go be like, okay, I got to go kill Carly. Time to go to work.
Get out of my way. Time to go to work. Like I said last episode, he's on a mission.
Thinking about him, just absolutely scummy. I hated his conversation with Battlestar's parent.
Oh, parents. Dude. It was so painful to watch him just lie to their face.
Yeah, and they were like, and he would have been happy that you at least killed the man responsible. And he was like, Yeah, about that.
He was like, yeah, I would never let that person get away.
Man,
I definitely didn't just kill a random dude in anger and not actually kill the person that killed your son.
Dude, did Lamar's
crazy.
sister kind of look like Monica Rambeau?
I didn't see it, but
I don't know. They just look very similar.
Got you. But I think she was sussed out by him, like big time, by John. I think she thought as he was talking, everything he was saying was bullshit for a second. You know? The way she looked at him, it just looked like she was like, I don't exactly trust you. Especially after, seeing you murder a man very, very plainly, a man that's unarmed.
It's just the closest thing that she has left to his son, or to her son.
I feel like in that moment, fresh after the battle and talking to his parents, I feel like he was compulsive lying. And I feel like because of how out of his head he was and how just delusional he was, I feel like he believed. I don't know, I can't speak for now if he's come to, fruition, but I think he actually believed that was a dude that killed Lamar because he's just consumed by that rage and hate and fear that's enhanced. I feel like fresh after that battle, he actually believed that was the dude that killed Lamar. I feel like he was compulsive lying to himself.
I feel like he just found someone, did it in all the rage. It was like Sam said at the beginning. I also like that Sam approached this again without malice intention at first. This is Sam's style. He goes in and he says, "It was the heat of the battle, John. We get it. Maybe you can explain your record. They can, I
don't know. John Walker was compulsively lying to himself. Like he killed Lamar. I had to kill him. And then during this fight, he's like, why are you making me do this? Like they're making him do it. He's like telling himself what he wants to hear during the fight. So I don't know. So maybe he remembers it differently.
He's arrogant. He's arrogant. He thinks that no matter what's being done, he's probably right.
Yeah.
That's like what's going through his head, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. That's what's in that moment, what's happening. He's like, why are you making me do this? Like, why are you the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you trying to take this from me? It's just,
it was sad, just sad to watch. And then get absolutely freaking spine busted.
Spine buster.
Gosh.
Man.
What's wrong with people? Me and Miles, black people would just never do, you guys. Colton, Joseph, I'm sorry that you I'm sorry you all associate with this group of murderers.
What I do appreciate out of this episode is the reveal that, not reveal so much, but kind of the nod to the fact that Steve did talk to Bucky before he went back in time.
Yes.
He told him that he his plan to give the shield to Sam. Apparently he told him it was a good idea. He had to have told him in that process that I'm going to go back and stay there, Okay. So what we initially talked about with him not talking to Sam, how could you not talk to your best friend when you're going back in time? He did. He did talk to his best friend.
Maybe Steve is the cameo in next episode. Maybe Val was not really the cameo because they were planning on revealing her way before the show were to come out. So, maybe she's not the cameo. And
but they still would have known. They still would have been able to announce now that it was the cameo, like they did. Had the Black Widow movie came out beforehand, they wouldn't have said a character that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
And guys, I think we don't see Steve Rogers in this series.
I don't think we do either. Who did you said that he talked to Bucky, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I was gonna say I've seen some stuff about that saying that maybe saying that him potentially talking to Bucky made his potential backstory, him going and staying back in time, a little less weird, because it could have very well been that because Bucky was off and on alive during all this time, and actually out in the world. And so I saw something saying that maybe, assuming this is the whole closed loop thing where he is all Steve Rogers has always gone back in time and always married Peggy and always he has always been that and everything. if that's the case, then maybe he saw Steve at one point, remembered that, and told him like, "Hey, you go back and stay with her." And maybe that is why like he realized like now is the time that I need to go back and live the rest of my life.
Oh,
which
like,
would be
what if Bucky told Steve
Bucky,
like you
Bucky,
have to go
like,
back?
Hey, yeah, and maybe that's why like if that's the case, it also would be the reason as to why like he doesn't go back and change anything, because maybe, you know, as we'll see in like the Loki TV show, whole time travel stuff, there's clearly time police. And maybe he knows I can't go back and change anything, but I can at least go back and live my life with her.
And that just sucks for Bucky. Like, honestly,
Only other guy.
Like we said, Captain America, you know, he had always been the person out of place, and all the people, you know, he just woke up one day with a whole new 2-3 generations ahead. But I mean, like, for Bucky to be put in the same situation as Cap, but then he wasn't as stable as Cap, and it was like, you know,
coming off of mind control and serious trust issues.
Yeah, mind control, trust issues. Just he was a weapon of the villainous side of things, where Captain America was always on the, you know, hero side of things, waking up all this time later. I just can't help but feel bad for Bucky, because, like, yeah, what does he 100%. Have? What does he have in this time period?
A couch.
I love that he's kind of reacclimating himself, you know?
Yeah.
I loved that in this episode. You felt like Bucky was doing what his therapist told him to do in the first episode. He was reaching out.
Exactly.
He lingered it out there like, hey, I need a place to stay. Sam told him, all right, come on, stay here. And I loved
Bucky now slept on Sam's couch.
He got to sleep in his sister's bed.
I loved that scene where he woke up to Sarah's kids playing with the shield. I saw something on Twitter that said it reminded him of waking up to the kids in Wakanda.
Yeah. If I was that kid, like, I would definitely get that shield out. Like, I would definitely hold it. Like, I mean, wouldn't you? Like, oh my God. 100%. Like, that's like the shield. Like, that's the fucking shield right there.
You know,
well, not really, because it was broken. Yeah. But it's the one Cap had made.
Yeah.
Somehow, when he went back in time.
And, you know, like in therapy, especially when I'm working with my clients, you know, and if you're trying to, you know, fix things, as you can see, Bucky was helping fix the boat, aka work on the boat. And that it can resemble, you know, fixing things can also allow you to reflect on yourself. And
you are not a psychologist.
Yeah, this needs to get this. You should snip this.
No. He's making a good point, though.
Yes, he's making a great point, but you can't say, as a therapist working with my clients, Tillman, you're not a therapist.
I can say as a therapist, okay? You don't.
No, you did say working with your clients, though.
That is, in fact, the one thing you can't say as not a therapist.
I have clients. You know, you can't say their names. You can't give away. It's
because you are impersonating a medical professional.
No, I'm not.
Can we talk about how Bucky doesn't always? Can we talk about how Bucky doesn't always go to his metal arm? It's like, it's my non-dominant hand. Like, I don't always think about it.
I was like, I don't always think of it immediately.
And then Sam's scraping up the thing, and then Bucky comes and is like, there, you're welcome.
A whole montage of Bucky showing off how strong he is.
Yeah.
The entire montage of them fixing the boat was great.
No.
Okay.
Everybody,
and especially the scene whenever they're trying to fix that one thing, and he's like, where's this bolt? And he was like, what are you talking about? We don't have any of these. And then his sister walks out, and she's like, what are you doing? I told you this isn't broken. Why are you fixing it?
You know, and saying that like above your head, like why are you working on something that you simply don't understand?
Yeah, and then
he was like, "Hey, Sarah."
And then they're walking away after being told off by his sister, and he goes, "Had you just gotten me the damn thing, we would have gotten it done a couple hours ago, and she would have never known."
Colton,
what's up, Till?
Barge in, please. I was making a good point, and Miles cut me off during the middle of the podcast.
You're welcome.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Starting back.
As a therapist.
No, since Miles with me, I won't start that. But therapists a lot of times tend to, have their clients fix things, and also find things they can work on, because it can resemble working on yourself and fixing things that may be broken in your life. And so whether not Bucky was doing that, I feel like in this episode, that's what him helping Sam fix that boat and work on the boat, that was allowing them to work on their relationship and work on, Bucky working on himself and Sam also working on himself, because they didn't have that, conversation, that genuine open conversation about things that grudges they were holding or things that went wrong until after they were working on that boat and fixing that boat. So I liked that. I like I said, start off character development. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I was like, climax, things are turning around, people are getting on the same page, and now we're about to have, the downward slope of the closing and the ending of the show. But
I also loved that conversation between Sam and Bucky there at the end when they're just playing catch with the shield. They're going out back for the game of catch, but Captain America's shield.
Tillman, basically your point was the point that Sam made to Bucky, saying
exactly.
You're not going to go to these people and say sorry and then have your closure. You have to help these people instead of, just
which is rough, because it was very clear what they were alluding to. And he did not want to fucking do it because he has to go tell the dad, being like, "Hey, I killed your son, by the way."
And Sam was kind of on Bucky's list, they weren't friends. He was kind of in turmoil with Bucky because of the whole shield thing. And then he starts helping Sam with the boat, and then their relationship has been fixed. Yeah, they agree that they're just two dudes, with a mutual friend, and then the mutual friend's gone, so they're just two dudes, obviously. They agree with just being two dudes. But, their relationship has been fixed. At the beginning, they hated each other. They said, we're going to do this, and then we're splitting up. We're never coming back. This is just what we're doing. And then now it's hey, you get a lead, I'll be there.
I like that. I loved that, and I like that this whole story. I think that, the Flag Smashers losing one of theirs and John Walker losing Lamar did weigh on Bucky, he was like, shit, I really got to hold it down for Sam a little better, we both lost our partner. Now we got to have somebody, and I like that. Whether that was a conscious thought or a subconscious thought, but that was definitely what led him there,
Wow. What an episode, man.
It was just fucking phenomenal.
Poor Isaiah, bro. I cried. I cried.
Oh, I cried too. Dude, that
it was just so
about his wife.
Oh,
fuck.
I don't want to remember about it. And the nurse that clarified him dead so that he could go and they get all the letters, and then, oh my God, what? Bro, and then experimenting on him, freaking, oh my God. That man needs a hug.
Yo, and he explains what he got locked up for. And it was going behind enemy lines and saving his, partners, his brothers in arms, from being in prison encampment. And who did the exact same thing in Captain America the First Avenger?
Steve fucking Rogers. But guess who was praised and Steve who wasn't? Rogers.
Well, also, not only did he save them from a prison, he also saved them from being killed, because the government's plan was literally to probably blow up the prison to eliminate any evidence of super soldiers.
Yeah, exactly. And they were just gonna kill the evidence, destroy the evidence. Fucking disgusting. And Isaiah was like, "Well, they're not evidence, they're my brothers." I liked that. And they also didn't tell them what they were shooting them up with. It was tetanus.
Oh,
God damn! It's just brutal, just a devastating story. And then, but maybe I'm excited for what this means for Elijah, his son. What does this mean for his story going forward? Is he going to, model himself more after Sam and follow in the footsteps of that hero? And I feel like we might see that with maybe another scene next episode where he talks to Elijah or something like, "Hey, let me get with you sometime. We can do some training." Tillman's little sexy ass over there in the corner. I mean, it's just, wait, what?
What the fuck are you about to do, Tillman?
Bro, but I do look forward to the future of all these characters' storylines. Like, there's so much going forward. And what scares me is that the character who seems most likely to die at this moment because of everything is Carly Morgenthau. Yeah. And I don't like that.
That's true. I don't think anyone else is at risk of dying. Maybe.
Whatever, the terrorist must die.
Fuck off.
I don't know. Yeah.
She's evil.
Yeah. No, all the other big name characters, just none of, like, I doubt John's
Maybe
gonna
Shannon.
Die.
Maybe Shannon.
Sharon,
sorry.
I don't think she would.
If they find a way to kill Bucky, because it's like they do something.
They're not killing Bucky or Sam. Not a chance.
Bucky and Sarah love connection.
Yo, I need that.
But you
like
just
that. I need the fan fiction.
Like
I think Sam doesn't need that though.
But it'd be hilarious.
I think.
Hey, I'm with your sister now.
Well, because I think Bucky's expendable.
She's freaking hot.
They could cut off and kill Bucky if they wanted to.
The fuck do you mean Bucky's expendable?
Like, if they wanted to, because Bucky, first of all, he's hella old, he's out of place, and him coming to peace and terms and like for just like trying to make amends. I mean, but I feel like he still has more amends to make with other people. But I feel like if they wanted to, they could be like, well, Bucky, it's kind of like Steve. Steve went back to go live his life, and then Bucky's like I said earlier, he's by himself. Who does he have?
Yeah, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't
so you're
die,
basically
though.
saying
no, but
hey,
they do.
Bucky,
they have a history of doing this. Tony Stark, even kind of an arrogant fucking asshole, kind of tortured throughout his own life a little bit, in his later years, because of all of the Iron Man stuff. But he finds peace, he finds solace in his daughter, in the 5 years of the blip, and then he gets killed, and obviously because he's the icon of the franchise, but that's also. They've prevented tortured characters from living out their lives before,
Yes, but also so like the Steve Rogers, they let him get what he knew all along that he truly needed, which was to go back and live out his life with Peggy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, they gave him what he didn't know that he needed, but once he finally realized that he needed it, they gave him a couple years of it. And then had him give up his life so everyone else could have their own shot at it.
Yeah.
Bucky doesn't know what he needs, nor does he have something that he doesn't know that he needs yet.
I think he just
the only thing that he has is some semblance of like.
What about the bartender girl?
No, he doesn't like her. He likes other girl now.
But the only thing that he really has is some semblance of he's made apologies and that stuff, and that isn't what he needs or what he thinks he needs.
There is something that he thinks he needs, and it's Sarah.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah, and he hasn't gotten it yet, so he's not going to die.
But that's what
he's getting it though.
But that's what I was saying. I was just saying, like the fact of I said he could, like they said they could keep him in there because he still has to make those amends. But if he comes, what he wants is what I'm getting that he's been wanting is just peace and trying to make amends with the wrongs that he's done, because that's what's haunting him. That's what keeps him up at night. And I was like, if he comes to terms with that, then they could easily be like, okay.
Yeah, they could, but I think what I could see would be more likely than that happening would be him finally coming to peace with things, him working it all out with the old dude, and then if anything, I could see him just going and living the rest of his life in like Wakanda or something like that. Not just getting killed.
Have you guys seen the interview quote where someone asked if about Bucky's death, how Sebastian Stan wants him to go out? He said he hopes that he's 200 years old somewhere in his bed and he dies peacefully, So hopefully we come nowhere near his death.
Yeah. That's also a great example. We've seen tortured characters die. We've never, or like somewhat tortured characters die. We've never seen a truly tortured character get to live out the rest of their life in peace.
I mean, they never want
Scarlet Witch is on her way, though. Hopefully,
Scarlet Witch has the potential, but that's why I don't think Bucky dies, and also I don't think they have a show about Bucky and have the season finale be one of the two main characters dying.
Yeah, fair. And I think he absolutely has a future. I'm not. I don't subscribe to that belief. But
what's going down in this last episode?
Dude, it's the fight. It's the way they left this episode with the fucking power going down at the GRC vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm looking forward to whatever's happening. And I like this little parallel of the people, coming into the room and going, one world, one people. Like Hail Hydra, whispering in each other's ear. But I'm not comparing the two movements or anything, but I do like that slight little parallel, and I like where we're headed, and I think Sam and Bucky are going to have to come together. They're going to have to fight this. I think we're going to see John Walker trying to get a little bit of his. I think we get a lot of action. And then a little bit of wrapping up at the end. But I think we start a lot like we did with this episode, but a lot more of the episode. We're going to fight.
I think ramifications are
probably little outside of.
Do you think like we see a Nick Fury?
No.
Or anybody outside of who we have right now? Do you think any new characters are introduced or characters brought back that we've seen before?
I doubt it.
Outside of them revealing Sharon Carter to be the power broker, no, probably not.
We might get the power broker, whoever it is.
Sharon Carter. Yeah,
could be pretty cool. What if, as White Vision, how he flew off and did something immediately? What if he detected this GRC attack or something like that and was like, "I need to go." Boom. I don't know.
Vision. I am Vision.
Like, what if we see him show up and be like, "Yo, I am."
Yeah, he's like,
I am the ship of Theseus.
No, wait. I am Vision. He comes back and he's like, you know what? I could help my wife, sure, but no, I'm gonna go to New York, okay? And I'm gonna check on Carly Morgenthau.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see what's going on here.
Dude, he's doing something. He's doing something.
Well, yeah, he's doing.
He left immediately.
But I don't think he's going to save the world. I think he's going to figure out who he really is.
He left immediately.
Also, Colton, kind of backing up what you were saying, I think the fact that we got a ton of action to start this episode, and then a lot of building. I think we're coming up to a hard climax at the start of this next episode, and it is going to be long. I think the first probably 20 to 30 minutes of this next episode are just action.
Silly Miles, we've already reached the climax.
We reached an emotional climax, but we're about to hit a physical climax.
Yes, we had a lot of building in this past episode that I think is going to lead to a lot of fighting. Specifically with a steel shield instead of a vibranium shield.
Yeah, John Walker's coming after Carly Morgenthau. Do you think he, fucks with the suit? Do you think he goes with the black and red like he is in the U.S. Agent? Do you think he designs his own suit too on top of the shield?
I think he fucks with the suit. I just can't imagine that he stays as Captain America now that he's been stripped of the title.
But remember, he kept saying, "I'm Captain America," even after he was stripped of the title. So I guess
I don't think we're getting a U.S. agent. I don't think he's rebranding himself. I think he is straight up going to keep calling himself Captain America.
I think he's coming out as janky Captain America, which was why I made the joke of the paper mask and the Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's in there. He already created the shield with the star on it and the stripes as Captain America. So what was to keep him from bringing out his little costume that he made has Captain with a I and no A America on it?
What if he goes to the museum and actually takes freaking Steve Rogers?
What if that's how it starts off, though? He just takes off. He takes stuff out of the museum. That'd be good.
There were reports at the beginning of the season that Wyatt Russell really wanted the original Captain America costume from the first Avenger.
I thought that would have been cool.
But
that would have been pretty cool.
Where did the shield come from, man? Though, Steve just built this. Dude, where did he get access to vibranium, bro?
Remember in Captain America 1, Tony Stark's dad had the
shield.
He had all the stuff.
Yeah.
And Steve was like,
so you're telling me Steve Rogers had a conversation saying like, "Hey, the shield that you made, I broke. I kind of need a new one."
Oh, you mean where he gets the one? Oh, the ones because
the one that's currently in use.
Once again, he was literally married to Peggy Carter. who
So you
was
think
the
Peggy Carter
head
has
of
a link
Shield.
with Wakanda? It's like, hey, give us some vibranium.
Just being like,
Shield.
hey, let's make another Shield.
Well, regardless, his shield was always vibranium, even when he got his in the 40s.
But that makes sense what Miles is saying. When remember when he was frozen, the shield. When he was frozen, they found his shield, and so if he never gets into any fights because he's not Captain America, he's just living out his life with Peggy or whatever. He just holds on to that shield for years, for decades, and gives it to Sam.
Yeah, and also, they don't need even to repair the shield. They don't need a full shield's worth of vibranium. They have some.
Yeah, but they didn't have to
in the broken shield.
Yeah,
but it's the same exact size.
But remember, they found. I mean,
but all you have to do is get he didn't say it was all of the vibranium that they had. He just said it was most of the vibranium that they had.
Oh yeah,
and they could easily get more.
Even in Black Panther, like
you see how
Steve Rogers. I don't know how time travel works. You know, like. We don't know how it works.
Just like every human.
Like, we don't know how that works. Well, like, because that shield is a new design, too. It's, like, different. So then maybe this is Marvel's way of telling us we're in a different timeline. Because, like, there's
it
is different, though.
Joe, is it so unthinkable that he went back in time and just got a new shield made? Like, what's the problem with that?
Like, I would understand if he was just like,
if he went back in time, he would have to go to, like,
on his own.
He probably had to go to
married
Wakanda
to the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Wakanda isn't the only place they can get vibranium, Joseph. It's just the main place. It has the majority. Yeah. There's a little bit sprinkled everywhere else. Yeah, just not nearly as much.
Because Claw stole that shit and spread it out. Remember, like, Age of Ultron, that too. Vibranium was everywhere.
Yeah, and the white guy in Black Panther told you
but that was in, like...
You can get more of it.
No, he went in and stole it in like the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying he's just saying.
No, I'm saying to Joseph, the Claw went in and like broke into Wakanda and stole a bunch of vibranium like in like the 70s, 80s, or 90s or something like that.
Yeah. But like I said, I think he could just held on to the shield that was in the ice that they found, unless that was just a different model.
No, because whenever they found him originally, the shield was still in the ice, so he couldn't have gone and gotten that. So they pulled that shield out of the ice with him and gave it back to him, so he couldn't have taken that.
They could have just made a new shield. That's no problem.
Yeah,
honestly, it's vibranium that existed back then, and a little paint, put a flame on it. They had all that back in the day.
Fucks yeah. But you guys got anything else about this episode?
I think we're just ready for the freaking finale, boys.
I think I'm ready for the finale, that's for sure. I mean, this story is just about to nut, you know?
It's about to nut.
Me and Joseph do have one thing to say, though.
Yeah, what?
Ellen Yeager.
I give up. This was the Penny Bloom podcast. We discussed the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5 titled Truth. This has been a hell of a time. I'm excited for the finale. It's been a fun ride with these guys. Shout out Tillman McClooney. Thanks, buddy.
Yep, happy to be here. Hope everybody has a good week. Got a little snow here in April in Columbia, Missouri, and Kansas City.
Snow on 420. It's like a Snoop Dogg Christmas special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And prayers out to everybody out there with the whole George Floyd thing going on. Glad to see some justice. So hope everybody's doing all right with that.
I hope so too. Yeah, and thank you, Joseph George.
Man, thank you for letting me be here. Love talking to you, boys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miles motherfucking Buttress.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Next week, even.
Maybe.
Probably.
Hope so.
Almost certainly.
If I'm not dead.
Definitely, actually. Yeah, I will be here next week.
All right, so follow us on Twitter at Penny Bloom Pod, on Instagram at Penny Bloom Podcast. And remember, peace, love, and bloom.
Till then.
And always praise Keanu Reeves.